1. So this happened a few years ago when I was working at a warehouse and my sister was still in high school. I would wake up early in the morning, about 5:30 a.m., to get my lunch packed, get a shower, and also get my co-workers since we carpool. My sister, she did have to wake up early too, but she got home earlier than I did, and we both had to do the dishes. It was agreed that she had to unload the dishwasher and I had to load it. And if the other dishes didn't fit, I would have to hand wash. The problem was that a lot of the time in the morning, I didn't have time to do it. My sister called me out on it and called me lazy for it. So my mom intervenes and tells her to calm down, we will just move the time to the evening so she can unload it in the morning. After that, I would get home around 7:30 to 8 p.m. and would load the dishwasher. But there were many times when my sister didn't unload it in the morning, and she was there longer than I was, so I called her out on it, and her excuse was, I have homework to do, so I couldn't do it. Turns out she was actually just talking to her boyfriend and talking to her friends on Instagram. I got tired of it pretty quickly, especially given the fact that she called me lazy for not getting the dishes done when I was waiting for her to unload the dishwasher. So she told me I just needed to step up and do the dishes myself. Cue malicious compliance. I told my mom what she was doing, and we both came to the conclusion that she was trying everything she could to get out of doing the dishes. I told her my plan, and she approved it. I did unload the dishwasher to load it, but I put all the dishes that were in the dishwasher onto the drying mats instead. I also made sure to stack the dishes in different ways to make it easier to fit more, but had zero organization to it. I did all this before she woke up. By the time she woke up, she saw me loading the dishwasher, and she was smiling that I was doing my job. But then she got angry when she saw the tall pile of dishes put on just 2 drying mats. She started to yell and scream, which not only woke up our mom, but also our stepfather, who could sleep through anything. And they both agreed that I did my job and was loading the dishwasher. She just needed to put away the dishes. She tried to argue, but I told her, hey, I'm just doing my job, and you agreed that I'm to load the dishwasher, and you unload the dishwasher. I can't help it that the dishes were in my way of loading it. She was fuming, but couldn't argue about it. She just gave me the death glare while she would take a bowl that was on top of a plate, unstack it and put it away, and then get the same plate that was under the bowl. She also had to get the silverware out from the Tupperware containers, and to separate the spoons from the forks and knives. She was still unloading it when I was heading out to work. After that, she started unloading the dishwasher in the morning, and I loaded it in the evening. 2. I am a sales manager at a sales company with payment options for those who can't afford items at retail cash price at one setting. We have payment arrangements where if the card runs automatically, we can arrange smaller but more frequent payments in an effort to be more flexible. But since it's an automated computer system, we cannot make changes to it once it starts running due to it running the card 3 times at different times of the day. If the card declines the first time, my accounts team will right away call the customer in case the customer forgot to unlock the card or deposit money. This is where the customer is angry she's contacted. The customer tells the associate she wants to talk to her manager, so she's transferred to the general manager because the accounts manager is off, but the GM doesn't even get to walk around the corner before the angry customer hangs up, so the GM leaves on her lunch. 15 minutes later, I, the sales manager, answers the phone where the angry customer is already losing it, and by chain of command I have to get it, and no longer have another person to transfer her to in store. The following conversation followed. I'm trying to change my card in my profile, but it won't let me. I apologize. Let me help you because it does charge you in order to make changes, but if I do it, then it won't. I had fraud, so I had to get a new card. It's stupid it won't let me change it. And that girl who called earlier is trying to overcharge me. Okay, give me your account details, and she does. Okay, you have a due amount of $85, but I can take your arranged amount plus your late fee, making it $79. That's not my normal payment. My normal payment is $75. Yes, ma'am, but there's a late fee since your account was due on the 1st and your arrangement was due today, and it didn't go through. No, my due date was today. Sorry, ma'am, but all accounts are due on the 1st or the 15th. But if you make an arrangement and computer processes it, then waives all late fees. Otherwise, a manager, me, has to do it since the machine doesn't allow you to waive them when you make manual payments, referring to associate not being able to take less than $85. The angry customer continues on the same tangent. I say to my coworker, with the customer on mute, "Oh my god, I'm just gonna waive her late fee and take her payment of $75 to shut her up."
"This is stupid. Let me talk to GM."
"Ma'am, I can just help you." Going to take the $75, and she interrupted.
"I want to talk to the GM."
I'm trying to help her because the GM will get rude and often causes me to lose customers. "Okay, but she's going to tell you the same thing. If I help you, And the customer interrupts again before I can get to waiving fees.
"Just have the GM call me."
And she hangs up. Me and my coworker start laughing because we know our GM, and she will not only take our side, but isn't afraid to put her in her place. Our GM has a severe case of resting bitch face on good days. 15 minutes later, the angry customer nearly drives through our glass windows, given how fast she came in and slammed her door. I'm joking to an associate. "Who'd you tick off now?" Not knowing it was me.
"I need a manager."
"That's me. How can I help you?" I say.
"I just spoke with the rudest person ever. She had a really bad attitude and doesn't know how to treat customers."
I'm thinking the associate is gonna need some help learning to talk with customers. "Okay, who did you talk to?"
"Karen."
I'm confused because we didn't have anyone by that name. "I'm sorry, we don't have anyone working here by that name."
"No, I'm Karen. Karen McCarran."
I realize she's the customer I just dealt with.
"Who did I speak with because she was stupid and rude and I want her out now?"
"That would be me."
"Oh, and you're the manager?"
"Yes, ma'am, and like I told you on the phone, due dates are on the 1st and the 15th. Your payment arrangement is not a due date, it's your arranged date of payment. If you honor it, there's no late fees."
"No, my due date is today. I don't get late fees,"
she says, taking out her wallet. "Sorry, but the computer just does what it's told, and the arrangement was on that card."
"Fine, but I'm talking to your boss."
She throws 420s at me for the arranged amount plus the late fee. "Sorry, but that's only if your card goes through as the arrangement called for. Your normal amount is $80 plus the late fee, so it's $85. Since she's talking to my boss, I have to go by the book, so I can't take off fees or go with arrangements." And now she's getting louder.
"Is there a corporate number I can call? You don't know how to do your job nor how to treat a customer. I've been here for years and never have I ever been treated like this, too."
She throws the rest in ones at me. A coworker and associate are all confused as they witness the whole thing, including the phone call, knowing I never raised my voice or was impolite to her. "Yes, ma'am. You see that number in the frame above the office? That is the number."
"Don't be snotty with me. What's your name?"
I'm over it at this point. "Here, let me write it down for you." I take out my tiny ADHD notebook and tear out a piece, write first and last name with job title, and hand it to her.
"Which one?"
Referring to the number. My coworker, who is tired of the BS and her yelling, grabs the frame off the wall, he's 6'2", and puts it in her face. She then takes a picture of it and continues to rant.
"You will be hearing from them."
I'm unbothered. "Okay, thank you."
"You should dress better and try some makeup. You look ragged and ghetto. Look at the associate, who's rather girly. She looks more like a manager than you do. Probably can do your job better. Stupid bitch. Just wait for me to catch you outside."
Me in my uniform with my natural hair and great skin, I answer her, "Okay, thank you," and wave goodbye. My coworkers, aka the delivery guys and associate, were very confused on what just happened. And the coworker who put the frame in her face said, "Didn't you say you were going to waive her fees?" "Yeah, but she didn't let me get far enough to help her." 3. We have an office in the capital of my country, Paris, France, and an office in the countryside, still a medium-sized city, but still countryside. The company wants to reduce travel fees for the employees. They made new rules, allowing for refunds for expenses by using only one mode of transportation and no reimbursement of parking fees anymore. This makes sense for Paris. It is utterly bull in the countryside. I need to go each week to Paris. To reduce expense cost and gain a lot of time, I use my personal vehicle that I park and travel by train, then proceed to use the metro to get to the office. This is an expense with parking and two modes of transportation, personal vehicle plus public transport. This is allowing me to get to the office in the morning, do my day of work there, and come back the same day. Thanks to the new rules, I can't do that anymore. I then used taxis to avoid parking fees. It's double the price of my expense, and still use the train plus metro. I receive an expense rejection because this is still two modes of transportation, taxi and public transportation. Okay, I will follow the rules. I live in the countryside. Taking a train to get to the medium city in order to get to Paris is hard, and came only after 7 a.m. I take the train and got to my nearest medium city. I then take the train and got to Paris. Doing it that way, I arrive in Paris by 2 p.m. I can't do my day of work, and I can't leave the same day. I now need 2 nights in a hotel. 1 night for the day I travel, and 1 for the day I work in Paris, because I can't leave the same day. To get back home, I need to leave after 2 p.m., and I come back to my house at 7 p.m. Expenses details. Before the rules, my expenses were 12 euros from personal car, 30 euros for parking, 5 euros for metro, and 120 euros for train, 25 euros for a meal, equaling 192 euros of travel expenses. After the rules, taking a cab to avoid parking was €80 for the cab, 5 for the metro, 120 for the train, 25 for the meal, equaling 230 euros for travel expenses. After getting the cab rejected, my new expenses to follow the new rules were $20 for the local train, plus 2 meals for the first day, 50 euros a meal times 2, during Paris work time, 50 euros meal times 2, for getting back, 50 euros, 2 nights at a hotel, 250 euros, train tickets, 120 euros, metro, $5, equals 640 euros. I missed 2 days of work because I'm traveling, and it cost 3 times what it was costing before the new rules. Why not? At least I can eat good stuff. Before the rule change, I was doing on the same day 5 hours of travel plus 8 hours of office work, plus 5 hours to get back to my house. It was very tiring, but I was doing that to not lose productivity and to be cost-effective. Fallout. My productivity went down the drain because I lost 2 days of work per week due to travel time, and the cost of travel from my part exploded. There's no real comeback to that because I think overall they did manage to reduce expense fees. As I said, it was something that made sense for Paris. Work wasn't done on time because of the lack of 2 days of work per week from my part. My manager on a team of 3 people had to go back coding and take some features to do because I didn't have enough time to do them anymore. Not working during my travel or not being able to work properly during my travel was legal. There was no possible outcome to force me to do what I did before. Even though they would make an exception for me, I'd had enough of their policies to not go back to what I did before, and would not allow me to do another 18 hours of work 1 day per week. P.S. To address the legality of me doing 18 hours of work a day, my contract allowed me to fully manage the quantity of work hours I needed per week to do my work. To make a day billable, I needed to do at least 1 hour of work in the day. I was fully in control of my schedule. The only requirement was to do the work I was provided, corresponding to 40 hours of workload per week. The reason I was going 1 day per week at Paris was because I was in the union, and needed to be physically there to discuss a lot of things with the employer and employees. Because the train I took was early and the train back was late, I was able to sleep most of the travel time. As I loved my job and my project, I wasn't putting that much of a drain psychologically and physically by doing that. 4. So this happened maybe 10-ish years ago when I still delivered pizzas. It was a slow weekday morning, so it was only myself and a manager, Jay, R.I.P. We get an order for a large pizza and some wings. Nothing out of the ordinary. It was to an address that was towards the end of our driver range, maybe 4 or 5 miles away. Round trip, it should take maybe 25-ish minutes. I go and deliver the food. Woman there was sort of rude, made some comments about how the delivery fee is a scam and a forced tip. I tell her it's just the shipping and handling fee, whatever. I get back to the store, and this is where it all begins. The phone rings. Hey, thanks for calling. How can I help you?
Yeah, I just placed an order for a pizza and wings, and the wings had no sauce on them. I want new ones.
Okay, no worries. I can tell you for a fact that they did because I was the one who made your order.
Are you calling me a liar?
There was no sauce on them. There needs to be more. Sorry about that. I put on the amount that we're told to.
Let me talk to your manager. This is ridiculous.
Ah, the sacred cry of the Karen. So, I pass the phone off to Jay after getting off the phone with her. Jay tells me that I need to redeliver an order of wings to her at no charge, and he tells me to drown the wings in hot sauce. So I do as he says, wrap them in foil, and take the food back out. Once I arrive to her house, this is my interaction.
You again? I hope the wings are made right this time.
Yes, ma'am, I absolutely covered them in sauce. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Did you bring more ranch?
I snuck an extra in. Don't worry.
Good. Let's hope it's still good.
Whatever. I get customers like this all the time, so I pay no mind. I drive back to the shop, and Jay is on the phone going back and forth with someone. It sounds heated. Jay motions for me to come into the manager's office, and he puts the phone on speaker. It's the person from before.
I don't know what is the deal with your drivers. The food is stone cold. All that sauce made it cold. This is insane.
Ma'am, there is zero chance that your food was cold. I watched my driver take them out the oven, put the sauce on, wrap it in foil, and put it inside the heat bag. He left our store about 20 minutes ago and should be back any second.
Are you calling me a liar? I have never been treated so poorly in my life. I want a full refund. To keep the food, and credit for next time, and the number for corporate right now.
You can keep the food, and I'll have the driver bring you a refund right away.
That's more like it. If you bring me another order of wings, we won't have to involve corporate.
I'll send the order out right away. Jay gets off the phone and turns to me and says, Well, she's an effing scammer and she's banned. You do have to take the refund out to her, so I'm sorry. I'll figure out a way to get you a tip from the register plus fuel reimbursement for all the runs back to her. But I'll let you decide how to tell her that she's banned. Have fun with it. Right away, I get a lovely idea, so I get her cash and drive back out. I turn into the neighborhood before hers and take off my work shirt, switch into a hoodie, and take the lit sign off my car. I pull up to her house and knock. You again. I hope you learned a lesson about customer service. Yeah, here's your money back in full. The customer looked at me puzzled.
No. Part of this is supposed to be your tip. Are you seriously giving that back too? How rude.
That's not how it works, unfortunately. When we take all orders, we have to file everything, tips included. When you request full refunds, we have to give back everything. Well, if your boss would have been nicer and you had driven faster, we wouldn't be in this situation. Yeah, well, he's not my boss anymore, so I don't really care.
What do you mean?
Well, I no longer work for the company. I then go into a long-winded explanation of rules and write-ups in relation to late and cold food, etc., making it all up as I go along.
No. I didn't mean to get you fired. I just wanted my food made right.
Yeah, well, it's too late for that. By the way, my boss also said that you cannot order from our store anymore. The customer tried to ask me more questions and apologize more, but I just left. I drove back to the store, and my boss Jay is in tears. What in the hell did you say to her? I told her that her constant complaints got me automatic write-ups, and it got me fired. Then I told her she can't order from us ever again. Well, now she's begging to send you that money via credit card as a tip, and wants to do whatever she can to keep ordering from us. Next time, don't go that far. Definitely go that far. But I needed a laugh like that, so thank you. 5. I was 15 at the time and had a new number. I got a text from someone named Dan, and they were wondering about a property somewhere the previous owner of the number had, I assume. They gave the address, not all of it though, and I just never looked it up, but I didn't recognize the number at all or the area code. At first I was polite to the person and informed them that who they were looking for no longer had the number. Seemed fine. Until I got another text, same person looking for the previous owner about the same property again. I was nice, but it kept happening. At some point I was a bit harsh and said the person died. I hope they didn't, and not to text me. But they did. I think it happened about 8 to 10 times in total. I can't be sure as I lost the phone. But after the last time they did it, I was fed up. My stepmom said something once about how the same person or company can't contact you after a certain amount of times, or it's considered harassment, and to get out of that, they'll contact you from different numbers. I think it was in a day, but I could be wrong. I'm sure you can see where this is going. My young brain came up with an absolutely brilliant idea at the time. I went back to previous conversations and took screenshots of each time they contacted me and my responses. I pretended to be my father and told them something like, "Stop contacting my underage daughter or I will come after you and sue you for harassment." With the evidence attached that they'd contacted me more than once, I'd asked them to stop and they'd continued. I wasn't sure if I really could go after them for harassment or not, but it was the only thing I could think of at the time, since the whole "they're dead" thing didn't work. Should have carpet way more times now, we're never gonna see him. Never got another text from them. I lost the number later, but still, it was nice. I thought sending them evidence was stupid at the time because I felt like I was showing my hand, but looking back on it, it might have been the wake-up call they needed, realizing I indeed had evidence and could have made my threat very real. I never told anyone about it, but I was proud of myself for it. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Revenge is Ice Cream, episode 404. And thank you very much to everyone who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Before you go, please do hit the like button and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel here, you can do that by signing up for my Patreon page. As little as $1 a month or more is very helpful to me. There's also the option of buying merchandise. Both of those are linked in the description. Okay, no more bits and bobs today, so let's move on to Hellfreezer's question of the day. And today's question is, are weekends still a thing? I ask this having a job where they're not really a thing for me. I always try to get one day off a week, but it's not always possible. It's just the nature of the job I do. Sometimes it can happen, sometimes it can't. But are you in a position where you're able to get 2 days off a week? Are they Saturday and Sunday, or is your weekend midweek or something like that? Let me know what you think in a comment below. And before we go, let's take a look at the answer of the day from a previous video. And I believe this came from Revenge is Ice Cream 408, and I think it was, do you have a favorite pair of sunglasses? I was talking about my old, battered, beaten up pair of polarized glasses that I'm rather fond of. And today's answer comes from Ingressman. Have these glorious sunglasses that are like the ship of Theseus, Oakley M frames from the 1990s. Now it came with 8 different lenses, as with different UV shading, and one neon yellow for hunting. And the only original parts out of the case is the frame and 2 lenses I never use, but have replaced the nose and earpieces, and every 2 years, get a new lens when the current one is too beat up, as I cannot carry the 5x5-inch foam box it came with everywhere. Love 'em to death, and will possibly go to the grave with them. Here's to another 40 years and beyond. Hear, hear, that's what I like to hear, Ingressman. And at least if you do go to the grave with them, you will do so with style and aplomb. Thank you very much for your answer. And with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.